Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hope. My name is Tammy Lynn Connors. This is my YouTube and podcast channel, helping other people evolve. Today, I have the beautiful Tina Robinson with me. Hi, Tina. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. So it's kind of funny because I always tell y'all how I met people is via my podcast. And Tina and I don't know, we've been friends on Facebook for quite a while, and we're trying to figure out how we know each other. We have no idea, so we're just going with what I usually say, God, right? God
That's
put us
right.
in each other's
That's
lives,
right.
and what a blessing it is what she does. She's going to explain a little bit to that today of where she came from, what her journey is, and why she does what she does. And so I'm super excited to hear a story because I really don't know it at all. And those are always the best ones for me because it just gets me excited to hear, what somebody's been through and how they've taken that and made it a strength and also serving others and helping others, which I know that's what you do, Tina, and that's,
Yes.
my thing is too. So for
Yes.
those of you that don't know, my mission and vision with Hope was exactly that, just to help people know that they don't struggle alone. You think you're all alone in your struggles and the world's happening to you and life is happening to you, but there's always hope. There's always
Exactly.
these stories of hope. There's things that Tina went through. There's things that I went through. So many people on my podcast have went through so many struggles, but we're able to navigate. I always say with God, that's my navigation is God, be able to navigate and get through those struggles and get to a strength. And so all I hope is that if you're laying in bed today or sitting in your house and you just don't feel like you can open the door because it's just such a barrier on you, just know after you hear Tina's story that you can get up, you can open that door, just take a deep breath and start reminding yourself of little things that you can be grateful for. And I promise you it can get better. We just have to have the tools. And well, for me and Tina, we have to have God. So, I always tell people whatever your belief is your belief, but I know that Jesus saved my life. So, Tina,
Exactly.
I'm super excited. I know that we don't really know how we knew each other, but we did right before I moved here to Texas. I was attending the same church that Tina was going to, and I just love that church. I love the pastor and his wife, and it's just an amazing, well, the bishop and his wife. It's just an amazing place. And so you're in Toledo, Ohio, right, Tina?
Correct.
Yes, the city I left because it's too cold, too gloomy. So
Hey, it's not for everybody.
yeah, exactly. So, Tina, if you want to just kind of go, Tina has a nonprofit, it is, right?
Correct.
Butterfly 15 and
Butterflies 15.
Butterflies 15. I need to get this
Correct.
right because I haven't gotten it right the whole conversation we've been having. But
That's
um,
okay. God put
Butterflies
us together.
15, and it's a
Yeah.
nonprofit. And so
Yep.
I'm going to have Tina share with us, like, what I know that you're in. Are you still, you're in an AA and NA?
No,
No.
no, not
Okay.
any longer. God has put it to where I don't need AA and NA, but
Yeah.
some people do. And
Yes.
some people that helps them get through, and that's okay. That's
Right.
good for them.
Yeah.
But as long as I stay focused on God and do His word, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm
Yeah.
drug free.
And you know what I believe, as we talk about that a little bit, because me too, right? I'm coming up on 22 years sober, which
Yeah,
I celebrated 8,000 days yesterday.
yeah,
But
I saw that.
the freedom of it, like I surrendered it
Yep, yep, yep.
completely to him. And I have no desire in my soul. There's just nothing that even's like, oh, that could trigger me or anything like that. Because like I
You
stay in
know,
the
I
word.
feel that way too. And people look at me like, yeah, she's full of baloney. And I'm just like, no, evidently you don't have what I have,
Yes,
you
yes,
know, and that's okay. What
right.
works for you works for you. What works for me.
Exactly it. That's exactly it. That's that no judgment zone, right?
No, no.
Yeah.
Who am I to judge? God can
Right.
only judge,
That's
you
exactly
know?
it. So, did you grow up
Exactly.
in Toledo, Tina?
Actually, I grew up in Perrysburg,
Okay.
graduated in 84. Joined the military within months. I was in boot camp from graduating. Um, was 18 at the time and was very naive, very let's say not about the world, just my little bubble here in Perrysburg. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yes.
So I didn't. I had a lot of regret from growing up of my biological father not being in my life, to where my stepfather, who raised me from two, was in my life, did a great job. I just pushed away, because I wanted my dad.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so I was clinging to men that I thought if he said the right thing, hey, you love me, and I was a hotsy totsy, as I call it, and was out there doing the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Married the first man who said all the good words after 2 months. And I mean, I was 18, young, dumb, and full of baloney. So yeah, that ain't the words I used back then, but that's the
Right.
words I use now.
Right.
But
Right.
so long story short, married a man after 2 months. He was physically, verbally, emotionally, and financially abusive.
Mm.
And when I say abusive, I've had dislocations anywhere I can have from head to toe,
Oh my goodness.
bruises head to toe. The military knew it happened and sent him to Colorado and kept me in Hawaii, trying to keep us apart.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he gives me ultimatums saying, "Oh, if you love me, you'll come be with me, you'll get out." And guess what I did?
You
I
went
did
back.
what I had to do to get out and go
Mhm.
be with him. Well, it got progressively worse. So we ended up separating, not divorcing yet. And I had a child, and then got pregnant with another one. And then he went to prison by the grace of God. That was God there, that he went to prison, because that's what finally made me leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
I met the husband I have now back then. And you'll laugh when I say this because everybody thinks it's hilarious. I met him while he was in prison.
Okay.
I saw him across the room when I was visiting my best friend's boyfriend who was
Okay.
incarcerated. I met him across the room and had him come talk with me. And we've been together pretty much ever since.
My goodness.
And we've been together 33 years. This year will be 31 years married.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's nothing but God.
Yeah.
But um, we went through some rough times of drug abuse, and it was really, really bad, to where I came to Ohio, back to Ohio, left him in Connecticut after about 6 months of us being separated, and got drug free. We got together again. He came out here, and physically we've been together ever since. But and we had another son.
Okay.
So together, pretty much, we have seven beautiful grown children.
Oh my
We
goodness.
have three beautiful daughters, which are from his first marriage. He has a son from his first marriage, and then we have the three, um, that we have together.
Oh my
So,
goodness. Yeah.
um, we got back into drug use,
Oh,
um, and for the first 13 years of my youngest son's life, we were heavily into crack cocaine.
okay.
And I wish I would have had someone that I really could have talked to, other than the people that use drugs. That way
Mm-hmm.
I would have got out sooner. I wish I
Mm-hmm.
would have had what I'm doing
Yeah.
back then, because I could have left all that alone and changed my life sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. And that's okay,
Mm-hmm.
because God made me who I am today to help others. He
Absolutely.
allowed me to go through everything I've been through in life in order to help others.
Correct.
Um,
Now, when
like
you
I
were
said,
real quick, Tina,
yeah,
when you were like in that, so he's from Connecticut?
yeah.
Okay, so it was his kids in Connecticut then?
At that time, yeah,
At
yeah.
that time. Okay. Okay.
Okay, right now though, our three boys, younger three boys are here in Toledo, and then I have two daughters in Connecticut and a son and a daughter in Colorado.
Okay. Okay.
We
Awesome.
have 19 grandchildren
Oh
and
my
five
goodness.
grandchildren,
Oh
or
my
great grand.
goodness.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
grand. Wow.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's
But
awesome.
but to back up, uh, what do I want to say? We we went through a lot of trials and tribulations with the drugs, of course,
Mhm.
and um, went down some paths that, I mean, I'm not ashamed of, because it's where made me what I am today. But at one time, I was trafficked, and I trafficked myself, and um, the physical abuse wasn't there, but with drugs, the mental abuse was there, and
Mhm.
then the substance abuse. So when my house got raided for the second time,
Mm.
is when I finally said enough is enough, and gave my life to Christ and stop using. My clean date is December 5th of 2005.
Awesome.
So this year I'll have 21 years drug free.
Yes, you will. You just
Praise God.
celebrated 20.
Yes,
Thank God.
yes.
Yes, yes. It's kind of funny, not funny that you say that, but when you said you graduated in 1984, I graduated in 1983. I got sober in 2004 and you got sober in 2005. So we're
I
like
know.
you're apart on, all those things.
Two big things.
Right. Two big things. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I have one son. I have a couple in heaven, but I have one son here, and then I have no grandkids. I have a grand dog. So
That's
way different than
okay.
you.
That's okay.
Yes, of course. So,
It's just the same, believe me.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So,
Yes. So,
you get
uh,
sober in 2005.
yep. And when I got clean off drugs, God said He wanted me to go to college. And I said, okay. So I went to college for social work.
Okay.
And I got my I'm certified in chemical dependency certification. So where
Okay.
I can teach classes and do all that. Um, so I went to school, got my bachelor's degree and social work, and I was going to a specific church at a time, and they had me start doing support groups, NA support groups at our church.
Okay.
So I was going to the church, doing support groups, and a friend of mine in the church said that, hey, the church has got a house that needs a lot of work and love done to it, but we can help women in this house. And I'm
Mm,
like, okay, cool. So we talked to the pastors, and they gifted us the house with the understanding it would go towards Butterflies 15, but I wasn't Butterflies 15 yet,
okay.
but it would go towards helping women.
Okay.
That's what it would go to. So we're like, okay, well, a half a year into it, she left and went to somewhere else. And so I kept with it, me and my husband. My husband's had my back 100% since I started this. And I can tell you, no one has a bigger heart than he does.
Mm,
Um, he was there for me. We put a lot of money into the house ourselves
hmm.
because I became a 501c3, but didn't know anything about anything back then.
Right. Right.
So I went ahead, got my 501c3, which for those don't know what that means is I became a nonprofit.
Hmm.
So I'm tax exempt from things. So I went ahead and started getting involved with human trafficking awareness and anti-human trafficking. I became not close, but I became very friendly with Dr. Celia Williamson, who is here at the University of Toledo. She's made people for the last 25 years or better. I think it's almost 30, um, aware about anti human trafficking,
Okay.
and how Toledo actually is ranked number 5 in the United States for human trafficking,
Mhm.
which is super sad.
It is super sad.
The average age for youth being trafficked is 13.
Oh.
Yeah, really sad.
Yeah.
They have things for youth and housing for youth who have been trafficked, but they have no housing in Toledo for human trafficking. So I decided to make that house um, a house for recovery for
Okay.
women who have survivors of human trafficking. So went ahead and opened the house in 2015. And when I got my nonprofit status was 2015. That's why we're Butterflies 15.
Oh, okay.
The Butterflies is all about transformation. The
Hmm.
ladies come to us as the ugly caterpillar, and we are the cocoon to give them the need and help empower them to be the beautiful butterfly God. So that's how we got our name, Butterflies 15.
I
We
love it.
opened we opened in November of 2015. The house did, and the house was there for them to learn your basic life skills. We did CNA or CNA CDCA classes. We did all that to try and
Hmm.
give them the tools they need to move forward. You
Sure.
know,
Sure.
we help them um, apply for housing and do all kinds of stuff. Whatever they needed help to get on their feet, we helped them get.
Okay.
So that's what the Butterflies 15 house did at that time.
Okay.
Well, how we stayed sustainable, since I didn't know how to do grants and anything,
Right.
we volunteered at the Mud Hens and the Huntington Center,
Okay.
working concession stands.
Okay.
And we receive a percentage of the total gross sales that we make at those stands. And
Okay.
that's what's paid our bills for the last 10 years. We've
Wow.
been open 10 years now. Last year, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary.
Hmm.
So what we do when COVID hit, we couldn't pay bills for 2 years, so we lost the house.
Wow.
So yeah. So I asked God during that 2 years, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to stop what I'm doing? What do you want me to do? I prayed and fast, and he said, no, you open a drop-in center, a place where ladies can go and network and do a sense of art therapy. We don't call it art therapy, we call it art expressions, because the
Okay.
ladies are allowed to express themselves in different arts and crafts that we have
Mm.
available for them.
Okay.
So we do case management, we do different classes to help their self-esteem, anything tool wise to help get them on the right track on their journey is what we do with them. And then we do the arts and crafts. We are a faith-based organization,
Hmm.
so we do Bible studies and spiritual stuff with them if they choose to. We don't enforce it, we don't push it. We're there spiritually for them in the direction that they want to go.
Oh, wow.
So we have all that going. And when COVID hit, that's when we opened the drop-in center and started doing all this. And we received a few grants. We know how to write grants. Not perfect, of course,
Right.
but God taught me everything I know. I didn't
Hmm.
go to school to become a drop-in center. I didn't go to
Right.
school to open a facility. Everything that's happened has happened through God.
Hmm.
And God is what's kept me clean. God is what keeps me clean. And this is what had me start this organization, is to help other women who have been trafficked, other women who might be going through domestic violence, women who are in substance abuse because of trafficking or domestic violence.
Hmm.
We're here for them. We're here to support them in their journey. If the ladies have court to go to and they want moral support, I'm there for them. I walk the walk with them. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the
Mm.
walk
Mm.
with the talk.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we don't have staff because we just don't have the funds to pay anyone.
Right.
Um,
Right.
people don't really want to give grant money for that, and I won't accept grant money from the federal grants and stuff like that, because they like to try and tell you how to run your organization.
Mm,
And
mm.
with me being faith based, um, I'm not having somebody tell me what I can do and what I can't do when it comes to helping these women.
Yes, I agree. So do you, so I would, you kind of took the words out of my mouth because I was just going to ask you, like, do you have quite a few people that volunteer with you?
When it comes to volunteering at the concession stands, we have some volunteers, nowhere near like I would like to have,
Hmm.
because the smaller amount of people you have, the smaller stand you get in order to try and make money.
I see.
The more people you have, the more amount of volunteers you have, is the bigger stand you're going to get to make money.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I hope I'm
So,
explaining that right. Yeah, like
so
if
you need more volunteers to make more money.
correct. But
Okay.
I also need volunteers um at the drop-in center. When we had the house, we had volunteers and interns.
Hmm.
But since COVID, um we don't have volunteers for the house. And as for the interns, we're not open enough in order to them to qualify for their internship.
Okay.
We're open Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 3, and that's only 15 hours,
Hmm.
where they need more than that. I believe it's 25 hours is what they need. But I have health issues, and it's just too much for me to everything that I do for these ladies, um, to be open more than what I already am
Hmm.
by myself. So if I had volunteers or interns, then I could stay open 5 days a week, and it
Hmm.
wouldn't be as much pressure on me to to do everything that these women need to have done, have help with.
Yes, yes. That
I
and
connect them with legal help if they need it, with advocating opportunity here in Toledo. If they need mental health care, I suggest a few different places that I know that have trauma informed care, which is the specialty they need, not
hmm.
just regular mental health. They need trauma informed care,
Right.
and that's what
Right.
we do with Butterflies 15 is we give them the trauma informed care on our aspect that we can.
Hmm.
So, yeah, these women need special care compared to everyone else. Toledo has the YWCA for domestic violence. Well, they'll accept women who have been trafficked, but
Hmm.
they don't get the care that they need, the trauma informed care. And
Hmm.
they only take so many, and it just stays full.
Yeah.
So Toledo is ranked as high as we are. You would think that we would have housing for survivors of human trafficking, but we don't.
Mm.
And this is where I feel God has me to get the ball started and get it
Right.
going to where it
Yeah.
can grow and be bigger, with the
Hmm.
help of others.
Right.
So I'm hoping the right people might see this podcast, and say, "Hey, I want to join in your journey and your mission, and we could get either funding, or so we could hire help, or
Right.
just volunteers."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
agree 100%. And of course, when I post this and everything, we'll share it on all social medias and we'll talk about that, because it's important. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I don't know if you know that or
I
not.
do. I
Yeah.
do.
And unfortunately, well, my sister actually was a year ago today that she passed away, but
Oh, I'm
she
sorry.
she never thank you. It's one of those things you miss her so much, but I know that she's in a healthier, happier place. She was really
Yes.
she never could grasp like sobriety. Like she was sober from, let's see, August of 23 till March of 24, I guess would have been. but I mean, when she went in to go to get sober, she weighed 85 pounds.
Wow.
In March, she was up to 125 pounds. She looked really good. She started drinking on my sobriety date again. And I was like, why? Why did you start drinking? And she's like, I'm an alcoholic. I was like, okay, well, that's gonna be so she just never could grasp it. But she was in a very, very, very abusive relationship for years and just still was intertwined with that. And
Yeah.
so when she just passed away, she had COPD, pneumonia, and diabetes. She passes or she passed very peacefully. She was sitting up in a chair. So, that, but those are the places that people need,
Yeah.
all of it. And like you said, with Toledo being number five,
Yep.
you guys, in the United States, like this is a big country, right? I live in
Yep.
Texas. It's the second largest population. We have, I think they said 30 million people here or something like that. And to think that Toledo, Ohio, which isn't that great big, is
No.
five. I know it's right by the turnpikes and the highways and state, things like that. But to think that that little area, that little hub, they call it even,
Yep. They call it a
is
hub.
number five. And
Yeah.
and there's no help there for that. And then it's that vicious cycle, right? Like, and they need the more help, right? You're there Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Exactly.
which is
Right.
great, and you can direct them, but
Right.
people don't realize the mental that happens with all of that, right? I
Exactly.
mean,
Exactly.
I was never human trafficked, so that part but I do know the mental just from the domestic violence and my addiction,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and
I give the Toledo Police Department a lot of credit because um we were ranked higher for years until they got a task force going. And
good.
the FBI's here and they work with the Toledo Police Department and they've come a long way. But like you said, we're a small city compared
Mhm.
to other places, and we're ranked up so high. So
Yeah.
people, when you see them girls out there walking the streets, you don't know their story. You don't know
Hmm.
why they're doing it. It might not be for drugs. They
Hmm.
might be forced to do it. They might be doing it to help take care of their kids, raise their kids. You don't
Hmm.
know someone's story, so don't judge someone. Who
Right.
are you to judge anybody?
That's
You
true.
know?
That's 100% true. And I say that a lot too, even with, homeless people, things like that. You just don't know. Like I
Yep.
just went through an experience yesterday, and I mean, of course, I'm able to still make my money and stuff like that, but I went through a lot of money this weekend for things that just were out of my control that God was like, you better have faith in me, girl, because I 100% did. But
Yeah.
I thought about it today, like when I was out sparking, like I said, making a little bit extra money and doing all the things that I do to make sure that I'm can pay my bills and stuff. But it can take one thing to make you not have anything, right?
Yep.
And it doesn't, I mean,
You're
I'm
a blink
blessed because
away.
I know that if that happened to me, I'm blessed because I do have people in my life that would be like, no, come here, right? But some people don't have that. And
Right.
that's what's heartbreaking to me because it can take honestly, take one fall and hurt yourself and you could lose everything. I don't know
Exactly.
if you remember Don Caskey from Toledo. Did you know Don at all?
No.
He was from Toledo. He had kidney cancer and he got matching tattoos with people all over the world before he passed away. But he had kidney cancer and he's right from Toledo. But he was a construction worker, just an average Joe guy, right? And then he got this kidney cancer. He lost his house. He lost his car. He lost everything. He had
Yeah.
nothing. Taylor
Yeah.
Kia gave him a car after a while. Like he had nothing. He had no place to live. He just kind of went from house to house but it was one thing, kidney
Yeah.
cancer,
Yep.
and it can happen to so many people and people are out there, like you said, they're judging and it's not, it's
Yeah.
not a place to judge because you don't know. If anything
Yeah.
you want to do is maybe look over and say a prayer for them or, hey, can I go
Right.
buy you a burger or something?
It
So,
just you're walking into work, smile at somebody, say hello.
yeah.
You might save that person's life just by smiling at somebody and saying hello. You don't know what somebody's going through.
No,
You don't.
100%. You don't.
Yeah.
I talk about that all the time. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what a person's going through. And I would never want to be that person that didn't share a smile or give somebody a compliment.
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I want
No,
you to know that that purple looks really good on you, by the way. That's a good color for you. Good choice.
it's my
Which,
favorite color.
which purple is domestic violence awareness,
Yes.
color for sure. And
And blue
also,
is domestic is human trafficking.
oh, it is, and it's
Yeah.
also overdose awareness. It's overdose too.
Yeah.
Purple. Yeah. Yeah. So I had a good friend of mine, April 3rd of 2020 that was murdered by her ex-husband to be. He shot her 14 times in her car. And the story is just heartbreaking. They had 4 kids, but it's so even I mean, I'm a survivor and I'm blessed to be here still, but those stories, and so then to have you in place for people because, when people be like, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? It
No,
doesn't
it's
work
not
like
that
that.
easy.
No, it's not that easy. And a lot of times when the victim is trying to leave, that's when it's the
It's
worst.
worse.
It's worse, right? You
Yep.
really have to have someone like you, Tina, which you're a blessing because I'm sure that if they are in that situation and they're trying to get out, you have a game plan for them. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like a
we have a plan put into place for the ladies when they come. That's one of the first things we do when we do their intake paperwork is we
hmm
make an escape route. Yeah,
right.
we make a game plan for them.
Yeah. And
Well,
so
we I don't say we make it. We, as in me and the butterfly. Meaning the lady. I call them butterflies.
yeah.
But her and I will sit down and we'll figure things out together. I don't
hmm
tell anybody what to do. I'm not a therapist. I'm not, I'm not a licensed therapist or anything, but I'm there to be a mentor to you. I'm
Yes.
there to
Yeah.
walk with you,
hmm
and that's what it's all about.
And that's what people need. They need
Yeah.
somebody like that.
Yeah.
And I know we say that we're not therapists, we're not licensed therapists, but we are really therapists
Yeah.
because of
Right.
everything we've been through. So we can at least,
Exactly.
kind of give like, well, this is what I went through. I can relate, and kind of
Right.
give people
This is
tools.
what helped me get through.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tweak it to work it your way to help
Yes.
you get through. And
Yes.
that's what I'm there for.
Yes.
Do I have all the answers? Heck no. But you know what? I had what answer helped me.
Right.
So maybe it'll help you,
Yes. I
you
love
know?
that. I love
Yeah.
that. Well, for those of you that are listening from the Toledo area, let's work on getting to some of the Mud Hens games and the Huntington Center. I mean, nothing like volunteering at the Huntington Center. You're able to hear a concert, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I know you do post on your Facebook, like when you're looking for volunteers and things
Yep.
like that. And
We're always in need of
I'm
volunteers.
going to definitely, when I see those, I'm going to be very, um, what do I want to say?
Diligent.
Thank you that I share those and put
Thank
on
you.
like we need to help this, what you have going on because it's an amazing thing. And and that's the other thing, that people need to know too. Like there are places out there that are trying to help people. We
Yeah.
see people watch the news, and I talk about this probably all the time on my podcast. I'm not a news watcher because of the fact all it's doing is giving me fear. It's showing me that unkindness and there's so much good in this world. I mean, like what you do, and I don't know if you know DeAndre Gaston, my gym trainer, but he has Go Time Grind there in the city and he works with the inner city kids, teaching them how to stay out of prison and eat healthy,
Yeah.
all of that. And there's so many good people out here doing so many good things, but we just
Yep.
don't hear about it enough. And so
Right.
I will definitely make sure that I'm sharing your posts when you're volunteering and just different things that you post just to get, the word out there because, you know, people, I mean, let's be honest, I didn't know exactly what it was that you did when we talked about doing this podcast. I knew of you and I knew of the domestic violence part, but I didn't know the human trafficking part and the substance part. And so if I don't know, which I mean, I kind of try to know everything, then who else doesn't know, right?
Right. Right.
They if you're not, and the thing is that we think with social media that everybody sees what we do and everything like that, but that's not true either. You don't see
Right.
everything.
Right.
So we're
Well,
definitely going to be more diligent about that.
people can go to our website butterflies, and it's plural, butterflies15.org is
Yeah.
our website.
Okay.
And check us out.
Yeah.
Um, we have a listing of our availabilities for volunteering on a page in there. You learn all about us. Um, check us out, and then contact me.
Yes.
My contact is in there, and write me, email me, whatever, and be like, hey, I'm going through this, or I want to help, or you
Mhm.
know I
Yeah.
know somebody who needs help. And one
Right.
thing I have to stress is, unless you're ready for it, it's not
Mhm.
going to do any good to
Yeah.
do, to just try and come. I mean, your
Right.
head and your heart's got to be in the same place.
Yes.
You can't force anybody to do anything that they're not ready for.
Yes. That's
And
that.
I don't care how much you say, this person needs this and that, but until their heart's in it, it's not going
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah. And then you're just going to keep getting your heart broken.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, yeah. When I
well, that
first
comes right,
opened,
Tina, that comes, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
no, when we first opened, we had quite a few ladies come through. Instead of being a year program, they were there a couple weeks, a month, and then they go back out
Hmm.
because they weren't ready. They thought
Right.
they were, which I mean, good. You at least had that thought,
Right.
but if you're not really ready, you're not really ready. You
Right.
know,
Right.
I just pray
Yeah.
you come back. If
Right.
not to me, to someone else. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe, just being at your place too, like would plant a seed for someone too, because
exactly. And that,
sometimes,
I've had ladies reach out to me and say, hey, you know, I really appreciate you and what you did for me. And I'm like, but you didn't stay. And they're like, well, but you planted a seed in me, or you
Mhm.
made that thought there, and
Yeah.
that's what helped. So,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, good. I'm glad it helped.
Right, right. Yeah. And I will also put your link in the podcast in that too, so it's right there too.
Okay.
But now if they are volunteering like at the Huntington Center, can it be like teenagers too, or does it have
I
to
was
be?
gonna get to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, the youngest is 16,
Okay.
16 and older.
Okay.
So those kids who are in school and need community service hours, guess
Uh-huh.
what? I can sign off on it for you. For those
Oh,
who are in drug court and don't feel that working with alcohol is going to be a problem for you, because
okay.
every stand we work at, there's alcohol.
Okay.
So there's beer. So
Okay.
as long as it's not going to be a problem for you, I
Hmm.
can sign off if you're on probation, parole, and got community service hours to do. If it's
Of
not going to bother you, I don't want to mess with anybody's sobriety.
course. Of course.
So as long as you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. I can sign off for you when you volunteer.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
such good information, and you're so appreciated for what you do. Like appreciated by me. I think that it's amazing what you do. I'm all about helping people, and that's my vision and goal. I feel like we're put on this earth, and especially people like us that have been, through some stuff, right?
Yeah.
But God, and when I talk to people sometimes about sharing their story, and I'm like, you didn't live through that story for you to keep it inside. You
That's
lived through
right. You're
that
not doing any
story.
good. You're not
Right.
doing anybody any good if you keep everything to yourself.
Exactly. So God gave that gift to you for you to open up
Yep.
and share it and show his
Exactly.
love, and what he can do. I mean,
Yep.
I was just talking to a friend. He said, because I don't know if you watched my live video last night or not, but I had a heck of a weekend. But anyways, people are calling me like, I can't believe how much faith you have. And I'm like, he's never let me down. I
Right.
There's many times I shouldn't be here. He's never let me down. And like you said, I'm gonna talk that talk I talk. I need to walk that walk. Otherwise, it doesn't do me any good or anybody else any good. Because then they're like,
Right.
she doesn't walk the walk she talks. And so that faith and believing and trusting, and I know God has us here to serve, not to be
Right.
not to be like, a servant, but a servant of him and to serve
Right.
other people, like just with a smile or a compliment or, you guys look great together, just something just to be a
Yeah.
light in the world. And so
Yep.
I love what you're doing. I think it's
Thank you.
amazing. And now I know more. So now I'm going to be more diligent about it. And yeah, and I appreciate you getting on here. I know that
Well, I appreciate you having us.
oh, yeah, I'm just happy to chat with you a little bit, have people learn about Butterflies 15, because like I said, I didn't really know much about it and it's enlightening to hear what you do. I love the story of you and your husband. I think that's amazing, and to be together that long and to go through those trials together. I'm sure
And
you
we
guys could
went through
probably
some things,
I bet you
believe
did.
me.
I mean, so my ex, my kid's dad, he was a crack addict and I know that life. I mean, I fortunately, by the grace of God, did not go down that path. And I'm going to share this little story with everybody just because. So my ex, like I said, he was a crack addict. This was before I had my kids, and I I tried it with him one time because I was like, what makes you so crazy? Right? And I tried it. Well, that was dumb, right? Because I'm like, oh, I like
That's
that.
what
Right?
got me started.
Yeah, because I mean, I was, alcoholic addict. At that time, I wasn't really in my alcoholism as much, but I try anything. So, anyways, he was at work one night, and this was a few weeks later. He was at work one night out of town, and I'll never forget this. I was driving down Collingwood, and I was on my way to go get me a rock, and I heard God audible to me, and he said, if you don't turn this car around right now, you'll never come back from this. And when I mean, and I can still hear him saying that to me. And I was like, I turned that car around. I went back home and I said, nope, not me, because I
Good
knew,
for you.
I'm just listening to God, right? And
Yeah,
now I think about all the audible moments I have with him now, but at that point, I didn't really have those before. But that was a moment that he was like, girl, you won't come back from this. And I know I
that's
wouldn't,
right.
and
That's right. You
by
wouldn't
his
have.
yeah, by his grace, and so
Yep.
to hear that you and your husband like are together 33 years, married 31, and I know that you haven't been sober that long, so that means that there was years of that, but you guys stuck together by God's grace. And I know I see you both in church because I always sit up towards the front and you're a little bit right behind me there, and I just love that. And it's a blessing to know you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a
Thank you.
blessing to be here for people
Right.
that I am a survivor,
Yes. Yes,
but
for
I'm not
sure.
just a survivor because I thrive to help other people.
That's it. That's it. You've taken your story and made it your purpose,
Right.
and that
Exactly.
that's that's awesome. Is there anything that you want to say to anyone before we
No, I think I just want people to know we're here. We're here to help and walk that journey with you. Only adult women. We help 18 and older,
okay.
but because I can, if you want to reach out to me anyway, I can refer you to Help for Youth. I am very close with um, youth and not instructors, but ladies who work with youth who
Okay.
are going through things.
Hmm.
I'm very close with a young lady who is near and dear to my heart who works strictly with, well, not strictly, she helps women too, but her heart is youth
Okay.
who are homeless.
Okay.
So I mean, I have a lot of referrals, avenues for people. If you need help with something, call United Way 211. Look us up on Google and you'll find us.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can always call. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and like I said, I'll put your link in this, the podcast and all of that. And so I just want to thank you again, Tina, for getting on here and sharing your story
Sure.
with us. We all love to hear your story. And I'm a struggle to strength, right? And by God's grace, you're still here and you're still sharing
Yep.
your story and you're helping other people. And
Yeah.
that's what it's all about, you guys, always helping
Exactly.
other people. Like my shirt here, it's one of those stay another day, and I got on
Yep.
the back of it 100 reasons to stay or 99 reasons to stay.
Right.
Maybe somebody standing behind me and reads like to see another sunset, and that just triggers them to be like, I'm gonna be okay. So
Right.
I just want to thank everybody for jumping on to Hope. I
Thank you.
appreciate you. We're on YouTube channel, we're on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, all the places you can find us. Like, subscribe, share. I'm sure once we get Tina's story out here, y'all are going to want to share her story because it's an incredible one, which all the stories are, but I like to, people will ask me, they're like, what's your best story? I'm like, every single one of them.
Right, right.
All the
Everybody's
stories are
got their
good.
own niche.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So once again, thank you everyone for getting on Hope today. And Tina, thank you again so much. I hope that you have
No,
a
thank
blessed night.
you.
All right, have a blessed night, okay?
You too.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye bye.